on said, trust the process. My thought was, what's the process?
Big shout out to you, by the way, if you're just joining in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Football Power Hour. We are going to talk about this game that we witnessed today. Manchester United losing to Brighton 2-1. A very disappointing loss because it is Brighton and Hove Albion. If at all we want to dream about a top four charge, Brighton should be a team that we dispatch off, or at least just a draw, you know? So we do always do this thing on this channel where we look at every player that performed, that started, and we give them a performance grade and a performance remark, sort of just like in a little school teacher's report type of thing. So I hope that you can participate in this conversation with me. My name is Botswana Papi. I'm also streaming to Mark N MUFC, and also the Twitch page, Football Power Hour. So if you have Twitch, kindly go give me a like and a sub or follow over there, by the way. It was such a disappointing loss, especially given the fact that Amad Diallo, who is currently bereaving somebody from his family that passed away, and he scored a nice goal, and all that counts for nothing. Anyway, stick around. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get this show started, shall we? Bruno Fernandes! The first things first that I have to say is, guys, before we go any further, I know a lot of us are Manchester United fans. A lot of us are angry or pissed off or feel disappointed that we should have won this game. But the first thing we have to do is, first of all, give credit where credit is due. And this time around, it sucks to say this, but Fabian Hürzeler, got good self. Fabian Hürzeler, ladies and gentlemen, at 31 years old, being on his first home game, he defeats Manchester United. And I just got to go ahead and give him a shout out and say Brighton deservedly won. I don't care if you disagree with me or if you feel some type of way, because they also hit the post. Let's not forget that, they were more clinical. We did, at the end of the day, obviously, as a team on the whole, we gave them a tough time. It wasn't, let's say, an totally easy game for Brighton. Let's be honest about it. But we just were not clinical enough. We had a few chances, especially some that you could maybe say bad luck. Were really extremely unfortunate not to see Garnacho score that ball that hit Xerxes on the knee when he was trying to get up. It was just like, all the things are against us. But let's be objective about it. Brighton hit the post. Brighton, when they got into the final third, they really made it count. And at the end of the day, football is a results-based business. That's what it's all about. Nobody cares about, who played better, who showed more fight, who showed more desire. It's the scoreline, period. Arsenal played today. They did that job. They won, 2-0 versus Aston Villa. Convincing performance. Spurs did that job today, 4-0 versus Everton. Absolutely stunning, convincing performance. Man City, I thought, hold on, Ipswich could make our day a little bit better with a goal. And then next thing you know, Man City do what Man City do, and they get that 4 goals in, and then nobody is going to remember that Ipswich scored first. So that's what I'm trying to say about this being a results-based business, and we did not get the result that we wanted. Very unfortunate. Anyway, before we get to the grades, I want to just first say big shout out to everybody that's tuned in. I see Will Man United, I see Men Lutata, I see Irfan, I see Luman in the building, says only answers. What does that mean by saying only answers, Luman? I hope that your Saturday is going well. Red Vision saying United in the mud. Long may it continue. I got a few words for you, Red Vision. What do you mean may it continue? We will be back. It's only 2 games. The top 4 race is not all over. I did not start the video by saying right off the season. No, 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 no. I still think there's still a lot of life. There's still a lot of games to play for. Still a lot of life in this season. It is not all dead yet. Obviously things have to change. Versus Liverpool, we cannot lose. Maybe a draw. But let me remind you, Ten Hag's first season, right? I think our first fixture was Brentford. Next one was Brighton. We lost those 2 games. And then the third fixture was Liverpool. Now, this season, first fixture was Fulham. Second fixture was Brighton. Third fixture is Liverpool. Could we do the unthinkable, beat Liverpool, and then from there, actually get a run of games? All that time will tell. Go, Man United. Oh, glory, Man United, says Irfan. We will be there. At the end of the day, we love this club. It's why we wake up at ridiculous times, and why sometimes we put our life savings and make the trip to England to go watch the game. We want to see players that play for the badge. And today, let's be honest, some of our defending, especially in the last, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes of that game, it became a basketball match, a ping pong, situation that really, really, really did not benefit us. And also, Ten Hag making some changes. Some of them were good changes. Some of them were not so good changes. I'm looking at the fact that I just want to straight mention the fact that Bruno Fernandes substitution, I'm still scratching my head. Bruno Fernandes laughed. When we're doing the watch along, somebody said, "Oh no, Bruno Fernandes is probably just laughing because he's what did we say? He was looking at the referee." I think somebody said that. They said he was looking at the referee, unbelievable refereeing. Of course, the refereeing was atrocious, but I actually feel like Bruno Fernandes might have been chuckling, because of like how bizarre he thought this substitution was. Anyway, it is what it is. As a wise man once said to me, it is what it is. All right. Shout out to you, Randy, saying big up everyone. Imran Khan saying back to school, back to reality. Shocking defending cost us. Exactamundo, Imran Khan. Raja says chill, can get that mad from 1 game. Exactly. That's why I'm saying the season is still there. It's not all done right now. Big up to you, Mark Davis in the building, as well as Men Lutata saying let's get 1K. Yo, Mark is almost at 1K. So close, guys. Let's get him to 1K subscribers. Make sure you go to Mark and channel and also subscribe there. I'm also very close to 2K. So we're all growing over here. Nero laughing. I hope that, I thought those were laughing emojis. He's really sad. Cheer up, Nero. Cheer up. Man United says we'll need Ugarte. We'll come to what we need later on. I want to make sure that we first talk about every player in a very objective way, go through each player that started and give him a performance grade. So I invite you to participate in this. It's fine even if you don't, because you know what? I enjoy doing this myself. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I am hopefully going to be joined by somebody here to talk about this game with me, give these grades in the right way, critique, these players with a little bit more reason and objectivity. This is why I really love talking with Manchester United fans every single time, because we all see something different from the game, and sometimes that helps give us a little bit of a illumination of maybe something that we were not thinking about. Or sometimes it's just therapy, because at the end of the day, that's why I entitled this Post-Match Therapy. It's a therapy session for all of us. So I hope overhead Kick TV, you're not too gutted, my friend. Keep your head up. Man United will come back. Glory, Man United. Let me welcome the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll.
Here's Chavez. Thank you for that great introduction. How are you doing, Poppy?
We
We
lost
lost
the
the game.
bro. I am like overhead kick, gutted. We didn't win.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know that there will be these games through in the season that we are supposed to win and we don't win.
Yeah.
So yeah. All in all, I was saying like the team gave a decent performance. I'd say for the most part, especially in the first half. But
Hmm.
like we should have done better with our defending, especially that second goal. Oh my god, it was atrocious. How was it for you, bro? How was it? How was the experience for you?
Well, when I look at the game, especially the first 10 to 15 minutes, I tend to deep analyze the formation and stuff like that. And I saw we were trying to build up with the two, like Maguire and Martinez by themselves. And sometimes Casemiro dropped down and helped them, and they went into a tree, or Onana pushed up. The build up play was okay. We didn't lose the ball, but we didn't gain anything, because when we
Mm,
try to build out from the back, you want to trap the opposition into pressing you. And the rule of thumb in football is you want to exploit the weakness, and the weakness when the opposition press is the space they leave behind.
true.
So when they push up, you want to attack the space they leave behind. But we didn't do it because we were too tidy, too methodical in our build-up. There was too many passes. We didn't gain anything. The only time we had a threat was when Onana shifted it long. We had a couple of tries on Rashford, one brilliant one on Dallo when he headed to himself and had that cross into to Ahmad, where Ahmad should have scored.
Yeah.
So yeah, tactically, I think we were okay, but we lacked a little bit. And what we lacked tactically, I would say, was a vocal point up front,
Mm,
because we had the
mhm.
double tens, or the double 9.5s, or the
Yeah.
false nines, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They were too deep. So Brighton center backs had all the time in the world to push up and help out in the midfield when Milner or Gilmore uh,
Yes.
roamed around.
Yeah.
So we never got to control the central area of the pitch
I,
because of
mhm,
that. So
mhm.
everything stopped. But Ten Hag, he addressed this in the second half. He subbed in Xerxes, so we had a vocal point. But we didn't play the ball to Xerxes. That was a big
Mm,
problem. I think we should
mm.
have tried more, give him the ball, even though he was 1 against 2, because he's a big guy. He should be able to hold up the ball. So uh, I'm okay with the play, but I see a lot of improvements that can be done.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about improvements, Jarvis, really quickly, I just want you to say, like, even in your opinion, what could Ten Hag have done differently before we go to the player grades?
Yeah, you could have, of course, started with the vocal point, as I said. I would also tried with three in the build-up play, just to be a little bit more secure, because we were little. We played the ball, but we were too tight. We have to be better in. Guardiola call it positional play.
Yes,
So they stretch out, and
yes,
and have every player has each zone. So
yeah,
they stretch out the opposition, but we were too narrow. We were too compact when we were trying to play ourselves out. So we
yeah.
didn't gain anything with it. So a little bit more structure with our positional play, and maybe a vocal point up front, not only
Mm.
just trying to hit it long on the wings.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, all right. Let's be more specific now and go through every player. I used to do this sort of like thing, like where we actually give every player a performance grade, and usually the grades are from A, B, C, D, and F. I think
Yeah.
A is fairly explanatory, and let's just start first from the back with Andre Onana. Yeah, can you take the lead on this one, and we'll switch up every
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
player.
yeah,
But like.
so
Here, you said Onana had some very good long passes, right? I think
yeah.
he actually, especially the one to Dalo, that was really great. And do you think? I don't think he's at fault for any of the two goals. Like, especially, it's hard for him to like, especially like block that second one. Or do
Yeah.
you feel otherwise?
Well, I think Onana did an okay game. He didn't make any mistakes, and
Yeah.
his long passes was good. I think he has a pass accuracy of 92%. So how many 50 passes and 46 accurate passes, and that's not
Okay.
bad because Onana is not only playing it safe, he's trying to create and play it long. So for a goalkeeper, that's pretty good. So I will give him an average score today. If it was up to me, maybe a C.
C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna stay away from the C minuses or C plus, whatever. Let's just go one solid grade. Anybody in the chat too that wants to participate in this, you're so welcome. All right, let's go to our fullback, right back, who's now left back, Diogo Dallo. And Dallo is funny because like I want to give him props for this. I'm not gonna just bash him
Yeah.
and say, where were you for the second goal? Because the goal comes in from a left back position. But there was a very good clearance, like on the line clearance. That
Yeah.
would have been a goal. I want to give
Hmm.
him his props for that. I think like he crossed the ball perfectly for Ahmad, like
With
created
his left foot,
ah ah
can I
ah
say, with his left foot. So for me now, it means that Dallo is two-footed.
oof, come
Yeah.
on, come on, you know, and also like, at the end of the day, like he kept what's his name? Minte fairly quiet. Like I really feel
Mm.
like him having to marshal Minte. Minte is a very good player who's in good form, and we saw him get subbed off, but he kept him quiet. So I want to give him that praise for that, but say also I don't know. I know there's this thing in positional play, Jarvis, that where
Mm.
players sort of like, switch roles. You can be a left back, but sometimes you find yourself in a defensive midfielder position, or sometimes you find yourself in another part of the field where you have to like pass your role to somebody else, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
happens quite a lot in football. But why did we have those two players unmarked, Jarvis? I have to show you. I have to show you. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. Let's
we've seen that moment, but like somebody has to take the blame. It's very, very tough to feel sorry for a team that literally has two players unmarked. If we look at this picture right now,
Mm.
Dallo is over here, right? He's on the right back sort of position. He's, I think, occupied by or marking Andingra, right? Adingra.
Mm.
And you see Lindelof, not Lindelof, Delict and McTominay.
McTominay.
They're the
Yeah.
guys that are the closest to the danger. McTominay, somebody there has to take some blame for his poor positional unawareness, not realizing like two players are unmarked on the far post. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
so
it shouldn't happen at this level. This is Sunday league level marking or defensive play. Um,
exactly,
but when
exactly,
I see it in slow motion, you see McTominay. He's there, but
yeah,
he suddenly like drags himself to the ball, and he has the full view of the situation. He sees 6 to 7 Man United players in front of him, and even though then he takes a step against. So
okay,
why? I'm not sure. So I'm a little bit negative to McTominay there. He could have been our savior on the last post on
yeah,
that goal. But
yeah,
it's a whole team. Everybody just loses it. It's a
true,
dying minutes, and we should be more aware. There were 2 minutes left of the game, and then we
yeah,
should keep the concentration. And we have seen this before. We saw it last season so many times,
yeah,
conceding goals in the dying minutes.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's about the mentality of this team, and this is what you get with a lot of young players, especially.
okay, so
It's hard to focus, and but you learn.
yeah.
Hopefully, you learn.
Yeah. Raja says Dallo should be within the range of B or C. What do you think? I think it's a C.
I
That's
agree
that's
with
that's good.
I agree with Riot. Riot
Yeah.
knows football. He's been a follower of this channel for a long time, and I think it's right. A B
Yeah.
or a C. Uh, Personally, I will give him a B.
You give him a B?
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. I feel like it's a C. Anybody that wants to
Yeah.
differ in the chat and break the deadlock, please put in your grade. Ifran, I think A is excellent, B is very good, C is average, D is below average, F is fail. I feel like that
Mm.
is the explanation of the ratings, by the way. So I know you haven't done this with us, but please participate if you'd like. All right, all right. So what are we saying about Dalo? Will says C. Okay, all right. I feel like
Puppy, can we go through his stats? I'm just
all right.
saying
Let's
he had
yeah.
one shot.
Okay.
One shot on target. He had 90% pass accuracy this game, and I think that was one of the highest of the team. One dribble, two aerials, two tackles, one, and actually had two saves.
Oh.
Yeah. So we had that obvious that block
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the, but we had another one apparently during the stats. So yeah, I mean, these stats are not too bad. And have you seen his heat map?
No.
No, I
No.
haven't
You can
either.
kindly share it if you're able to share his heat map, because that should give a little bit more perspective. Because yeah, I'm feeling like it's a C, as well as Imran and Randy, but overhead kicks as B. Will says C. The majority feels like it's a C. Bath Time said coincidentally that's probably where Casemiro was instead of in that space behind McTominay.
Mm.
Incredible Bath Time, incredible. Uh, we'll get to McTominay in a moment. Will, yeah. Do you have the heat map, or were you gonna share it?
Um, I didn't find it yet, so
Okay, it's
I
fine.
will bring it up later.
It's fine. Let's power through
Yeah.
the ratings real quick. Okay, so I feel like majority. I want to side with you, Jarvis, and say it's a very very light B. Now that like you've given me those like sort of like stats as well about him, but
Mm.
majority of the house goes with a C. I think we will put in a C, and you know say do better next time, Dalo. All right, all right.
Yeah.
Next person is let's go to the fullbacks, finish with the fullbacks and say Mazarawi. How do you assess Mazarawi's performance, bro?
Oh, I like Masurawi. I like him. He's very composed. You can
Yeah.
see that he's an athlete in his body, how he moves.
Yeah.
I think he's composed when he's on the ball, and his positional play. That's where I really rate him, because he's always at the right place, and he doesn't occupy the place for others. He moves perfectly. So yeah, but it wasn't its best game, but it kept Mitoma quiet, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he
He
had an
passed
assist
people.
for Ahmad on the goal. So a lot of pluses. So
Oh.
for me, it's almost at a B. Same as Dallo, between B and C for me.
Okay, all right, all right. Yeah, with the assist tax, we have to go ahead and say good assist. B, it's a B. It's a solid B from me as well. I don't know if anybody disagrees. Will agrees as well.
Mm,
Bath Time says good player, decent game, poor on the corner to let Adingra cross. Other than that, he was steady. He was a steady Maserati.
mm.
Imran Khan is harsh, says C. All right, all right, all right. Let's go to our first defender. Randy, thank you for balancing it out. I feel like the majority now goes with a B. Big up to you, Randy, for that. Harry Maguire. Let's start with Harry Maguire.
Harry. Yeah, well, you can start with Harry.
Well, I
I
just
don't
want
want
to
to be too
say,
negative.
yeah, I don't want to make this a Maguire bashing party, but he should have dealt with Joao Pedro's cross. That
Mm,
led to Welbeck scoring, right? And there was other moments that were okay,
yeah.
but the thing about this is like this type of game is fine margins, and it's just a matter of positional awareness, and his limitations are starting to show. Like, he is giving his heart, he is giving his soul,
Yeah.
he's giving his blood and sweat and tears. I sense that from Maguire. you know I don't sense that from, like, say, I know we'll get to Rashford later. Rashford, I feel like he's doing us a favor playing for Man United,
Mhm,
when you're
mhm.
asking him to do defensive duties. But Maguire, you can tell he is trying his best, but he is just limited. Positional awareness was or lack thereof was put on display today, and
Yeah.
it's just sort of that's how I say that's how I feel about him. And I'm sorry, I have to give him it. It's a D. It's a D. It's a D.
Mm,
Unfortunately, from
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Imran Khan was now lenient and says C. Thank you, Overhead
Yeah.
Kick, for saying D. Do you disagree, Jarvis?
Now, for me, I think he had a really bad game. His errors cost us one goal at least, and he had two chances to clear the ball. One the first time, and from the other side also. So for me, no, he's too slow. But also another thing, not only the goal, the error, but how he's on the ball when we try to play out from the back. Every time Maguire gets the ball, he uses at least 3 touches, maybe 4, and it takes a lot of time. He's tedious on the ball. So for me, I think he's not at the same level in composure and passing ability as the other defenders when we play out. He's not comfortable on the ball, and for
Mm,
me, it makes the rest of the team a little bit insecure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it spreads with him. So
it,
for me, he shouldn't be on the pitch.
And well, it's always easy to say things in hindsight, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Delict should have started. But I get the thing. Ten Hag does the meritocracy thing, right? If
Mm,
Scott McTominay is playing well, even if we just signed Casemiro is gonna have to sit on the bench for a while, and then from there, like like he has to wait for Scott McTominay to make a mistake. But I think Maguire today made the mistake, and we won't see him versus Liverpool. Honestly, big up to you, Bath Time, saying he left the cross for Onana as he thought it was in the 6-yard box. Every other defender would boot that. Poor moment from an otherwise uninspiring performance.
mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it on the whole uninspiring. I get it, what you're saying, Bath Time, and I really, see your point of view, but I wouldn't say totally uninspiring. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, there were other moments where he did well, But anyway, let's keep the show moving and go to Lisandro Martinez. Take the lead on that one, Jarvis.
Yeah, for me, I think he had one of his worst games I have seen him play so far in a Man United
Ooh,
shirt, at least. Yeah, he was a little bit sloppy. Positionally, he wasn't good enough. I think he made a big mistake also on the first goal. He didn't pick the most dangerous attacker for Brighton, the one closest to the ball. He picked the one who was behind him. So he left Welbeck open, and that's a big mistake. As a center back, you should never do that. He knows it, and every center back in the Premier League knows how to mark which man to select. If you have to, you always pick the one who's closest to the ball, who's
mhm.
most dangerous. So for me, that's a huge mistake from him.
Yeah,
Uh, it is. I don't know if you notice, but he has two ways: one man behind him and one in front of him.
yeah,
When the cross comes from Mitoma, and he picks the one behind him to mark, so he
yeah.
leaves Welbeck open. So it's a huge mistake, and that mistake also cost us a goal. So he's partly wrong for that goal.
Mm,
And I didn't think he played as good as he usually do. He's usually commanding. He's usually the boss when it comes to the defense. But today he was a little bit off. So I have to be harsh, but I will give him a C.
Ooh, I thought he was gonna say D. You were
Oh
like,
well, it's
okay.
Licha after all.
It's Leach after all. I
Yeah.
think we also want to give him the flowers for being able to. I think some of our build up from the back, whenever we were able to like
Mm.
make those passes from the back. I bet if you pulled up his statistics, he would look good in terms of like the passing. So I know the back line was just a big jumble mess right now. It was almost like felt like it was freestyle defending, especially towards the end of that game. But Martinez, I want to balance it off and say that. But, he's also had a mistake, just like Maguire's had a mistake. And
Mm.
let's see what also somebody else, Bath Time. Overhead kick went with a C for Martinez. All right, big up to you. Bath Time says Martinez bodied in the midfield again. Dallo cleared off the line from his mistake. Poor on the
Mm.
ball. Awful position to defend the cross for the opener. Not impressed. Thank you for that nicely written comment right there,
Yeah,
Bath
yeah,
time. So anyway, the Butcher gets a C. I think the whole house agrees. Butcher gets a C.
yeah.
Look at all the C's. All right. Now let's move on to midfield. We have a player called Casemiro.
Mhm.
Casemiro. So for me, Casemiro was interesting because he started off really promisingly good, and
Yeah.
then there was just sort of like a little bit of a drop off as the game progressed. He just started becoming more and more of a defensive liability, to the team.
Mhm.
And in the second half, he was just almost Casper Casemiro. Honestly, I couldn't really see him. Like he he faded as the game progressed.
Mm. He did. He did. He faded. Let's see. I just want to bring out Casemiro's stats. I think he had a pass accuracy of 82%,
Okay.
five tackles with 100% rate. So his tackles was good.
Okay.
Um, he was dispossessed one time, so we only lost the ball according to the stats one time. And
Okay.
yeah, he had three shots, two off target and one on target. So his stats are not like bad. I would say 5 tackles out of 5. It's actually quite good. But I think his biggest problem was his positional play. I think it was all over the place. He should be more disciplined, staying in his position. He makes the job harder for Mainu. Uh,
Mm. That is partially why, like, I felt like Mano was actually produced a Mano performance, but it was the people around him that just weren't as
yeah,
good, and
I agree.
including Mr. Casemiro. So positionally, he was not where he needs to be, not up to par. And I agree with you, Jarvis. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a C grade
Yeah.
as well. I feel like it's just a C. Will Man United says an S for slow. That is very funny. Scott is a liability in the making. We'll get to Scott in a second. But Randy went with a B or C for Casemiro. I don't know how you went that far to a B, Randy, but shout out to you. Bath Time says Casemiro sometimes great, sometimes a pudding, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe crap. Vacated his space for the winner in the last line, held his position okay, but didn't influence the game enough
Hmm.
for exactly 350K a week. That is true. Yeah,
I
Casemiro.
just want to say one thing when it comes to Casemiro, because we saw at the end of the game, and let's say from the 75 to 80th minute and up until the end in injury
Yeah.
time, 97 minutes, it was an open-ended game. It went from one side to the other. Both teams open up, and this is a time when it's hardest for a DM, when everything is open. We know that from last season. We all talked about the big gap in the midfield. Um, I think we should have another DM who can come in, because I see now Casemiro at the end of the games, he gasses out, and
Yeah.
we have the same problem with Kobe actually. So
Yes, after
we
65 minutes, Kobe
yeah
he gets tired.
we
You know?
and this is why said all summer window we need two midfielders in. I wanted both Ugarte and Sanderberg. That's the thing. But now it seems like we only will get Ugarte in. I think it's one too short.
Jarvis, we cannot keep playing. He's not how old? 19 years old. This kid
Mm,
is young. We should be easing him into the game.
yeah.
Like, he's getting way too many minutes too quick. And the worst thing that happens when you don't manage somebody young like this, their minutes, is they end up becoming susceptible to a long-term injury. And we do not want. We have to protect Kobe Mano by all costs. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
so
100%.
and develop him really naturally and with a tempered, like, strategic, game time, like, plan, like a long term plan. So yeah, questions will be asked. Brendan, very excellent question. Where was Collier?
Hmm.
We saw it really. What were we doing? Where was Sancho? That's another one for another day. it's like almost like what we were doing in America in the preseason tour is just a waste of time. It's like, you know, what was all that prep for? We saw Collier get chances, you know, in the team, and now where's Collier when you need him?
Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, so Maino, I think we're gonna agree that he does he looks knackered, um, but
Mm.
I thought it was a decent typical performance from him. I don't really remember any major faults from him that we can point out, unless I'm forgetting something. But I just feel like, you know, he maybe the
Mm.
fatigue from the Euros is also maybe sort of kicking in. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, do you think Mainu, one of his best attributes, he's very good at
Yeah,
when he do something wrong, you never see him complain. He has a straight face, just jogs away on
yeah,
to the next. But you could see it now at the end of the game. There was especially one time he got the yellow card. He laid himself on the player, used his arm, so he got a yellow card, and he was like a little bit annoyed on the referee. You saw him
yeah,
like talking to himself. You never see him do that, and that's
yeah,
I think do that because he's tired. When you're
yeah,
tired, you don't think straight, and he's
yeah.
always focused and thinks straight. So he's tired for sure, and we shouldn't play him 90 minutes. We should ease him in, as you say.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not forget, give him his flowers for the, you know, the Mazraoui assist that you just mentioned. Like it
Mhm.
was Maino's deft touch that really, like, you know, allowed Mazraoui to be able to provide the assist for Dalo. So I think it's also important we know that, like, he also, I'm just checking his stats, he had 91% passing accuracy.
Mhm.
So I think it's a solid B from me to Dalo. I don't know if anybody in the chat disagrees.
80% dribble success. That's a
Ooh, yeah,
great stat from his
that's
position.
right. I think we can agree that that's a B for sure.
Getting himself out of tight spaces. That's where he is at his best, dribbling. Yeah.
Imran Khan agrees with us. Big up to you, Imran. Bath Time says Maino was fine, best at everything again in the midfield, but his youth and lack of 6 weeks preseason means he's going to drop off a cliff around an hour. Always effective in spurts. Big shout out to you, Bath Time. Really poignant comments that you're having, by the way. Big up to the waiting room saying, hey, y'all, kindly don't forget to hit the like button if you're just joining this discussion. We're just doing a quick little go through of all the starters, and a few notable subs we'll mention at the end. We're giving them a grade and a performance remark. If you agree or disagree with us, please let it be known on the chat as well. Big up to AJ as well. Okay, next midfielder, or next player, should I say, Mason Mount. Let's go to Mason Mount. You want to take the lead on Mason Mount? How would you assess his performance,
Yeah.
Jarvis?
Well, we did a show after the game with Phil
The player
Standish.
ratings?
He was on.
Oh,
Phil
okay.
Standish was on, and he was very impressed. He thought Mason Mount was the best player on the pitch. Um,
Mm.
I have to admit I didn't see much from Mason Mount. He do a lot of running, off the ball movement. Yes, his press play is good, but he's not impressive on the ball. He doesn't look like a 60 million player, 65 million pound player in my eyes. So
Yeah.
I don't know why Ten Hag took him off. I think it was because we had the lack of a vocal point up front, but
Jarvis, I thought so too, but then there is this rumor that he was actually forced out by injury. I don't know if it's true yet. I'm
yeah.
just saying that right now, just like there is a rumor that Mason Mount substitution was actually due to injury. I thought it was Ten Hag
Okay.
looking at the fact that we didn't have a focal point, like you started
Mhm.
off at the beginning of the show. But if it's at all because of injury, please, Mason Mount, let it not be a long-term injury, because I do not know where we go from here if he's actually injured. It's like
Yeah,
we
it
write
would
off
it
half the
wouldn't
season
surprise me.
again.
We are heading for another season of injuries, and we have injury-prone players. That's our biggest problem. We still have a
Yeah.
lot of them in our squad, and Mason Mount is unfortunately one of them. He was out injured most of the season last season, and now he starts again. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good pressing. I feel like is one thing that we have to mention. Let's see what Bath Time says. I quite like Mount in the first half. He's not strong enough and needs to do more on the ball, but I like how much space he closes and creates for his teammates.
Yeah.
Big hopes for him, especially if he can stay fit. Big up to you, Bath Time, for that. Yeah, good pressing, and you said how he closes
Off the ball
space.
movement, I would say.
Yeah, yeah,
But he
yeah.
has 93% pass success, so he's not wasteful on the ball.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Actually, good pressing and closing of spaces is a bit redundant, but I want to say I end good chance creation. I guess let's say
mm.
that. Even though, yeah, good creation. Um, let's
But
go to.
playing in the 9 or the 10, you should be more creative. You should be better on the ball. We have zero dribbles.
True.
Yeah, so I expect more. You can run all day long, but you need to be good on the ball, especially if you're going to play as the number 10.
All right. So Jarvis, what grade are you giving him, Imran?
I see. I see.
It's a C. Oh God, we have a C of C's. You see
A
what I
Z.
did there? You see what I did there?
I
Okay, a
see.
C.
I see.
You see. All right. So yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that much. That's I feel like that's we've said what we can say about Mason Mount. Mason Mount, glad take some rest. Mason Mount, glad take rest. Seven. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
7.1. Okay. Yeah.
7.1. Big up to you. Big up to Gene as well, saying apparently an issue Eric Ten Hag reported taken off for precaution. Thank you, Gene,
Okay.
for
Okay.
clarifying that it was a precaution, but it was an injury related sort of decision by Ten Hag. That's, I guess, what we're learning. Imran Khan with a joke again. Mason Mount gets an M. We'll give him a C and then move on to let's go to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno, Captain Bruno. I'm
Yes.
laughing, Bruno.
I was really surprised when he was subbed off.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I,
I
I
think
I
he
think
was
it's the first
too.
time. I've never seen him been subbed off before.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. And the few matches that we've played without Bruno, we've noticed how much we miss Bruno. You saw even the first like preseason game that we played when Bruno was still on holiday. Like,
Yeah.
we were struggling to create. I think Mason Mount was the other one in the 10 that game, if I'm not mistaken. And the truth of the matter is, without your chief chance creator, he's been the player who's been creating the most chances
Mhm.
for the past 4 seasons at Man United. And how are you going to take him off when we're 1-1, mate? That's what the game is now, in a bit of a basketball ping pong. The frequency of final third entries is increasing
Mhm.
by the minute. And that means also Brighton is vulnerable. If you somebody that picks the right pass, you can actually get a goal. But Bruno was not able to play that role till the end of the game, and that substitution was just baffling to me. So I'm just gonna say surprising sub. Um,
Mhm.
he was just like okay, nothing crazy. Okay during the game, a little bit of like annoying moaning to the referee, but
Yeah.
I don't really remember like any big like say versus in during the Fulham game. He had a couple of one-on-one chances that he should have buried, and I didn't see that much over with Bruno this time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like he has to also get a C for the moments. Yeah, a C is
If I can be a little bit, people will take this as a critique against Bruno because,
okay.
but it's not meant as a critique. But if you look at his heat map, it's all over the place, and I actually mean it's all over the place.
Oh no.
So his positional play again is, I don't know. I think it's hard to play on the pitch with Bruno because you never know where he is. It's everywhere.
Yeah, okay, all over the map.
Yeah.
Maybe he's given, but when we say this, like sometimes some players can be, it can be as an instruction from the coach to say you
Yeah.
have a free roaming role,
It
and
could be.
and it could be something that the coach said. So like, we gotta look at his performance with a grain of salt that way. So let's see what Bath Time said about Bruno. I love Bath Time's comments, by the way. Bruno annoyed me today. I agree with Scholes. We need someone that isn't just go, go, go. And can push and pull blocks around with simple passes. I'd bet both my taps the medical department was behind that sub. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, it's a little bit in the interest of making sure that Bruno doesn't get injured. But he was rusty, so accurate, Lucky, very much rusty. I really love that term. It's the first time I hear it.
Yeah.
Let's rusty. Big up to you, Lucky. Big up, shout out to Edna as well in the building. Says Bruno was his cringy self again today. If only he can improve himself. What was Ten Hag thinking taking out Bruno? I'm not allowed on Instagram, but his first person I'd follow. But the first person I'd follow is Scolzy. Oh my goodness, what did Bath Time do on Instagram? Why is he not allowed? Are you about to share something with us,
Yeah, I
Jarvis?
just want to show Bruno's heat map.
Yes,
If you
please.
just want to bring it up. Let's see here. Yeah, there you see on the right. That's Man United, and this is our heat map in total for all of the team. If I remove all of them and you see only Bruno Fernandes, you see here that it's dark blue spots everywhere on the pitch. For example, if you pick play like Mainu, you see his heat map is mostly around
Mhm.
this area, and same with Casemiro. But with Bruno, he's everywhere, and this is a problem. And when you add on Mason Mount, for example, you see it doesn't change much because
Can we
both
just
of
see
them
Mount?
roam around everywhere.
Yeah, can we see Mount's only Mount's
Yeah,
heat map?
oh,
Can you
yeah.
take out
This
Bruno?
is only Mount,
Hmm.
and
Just go where the ball goes, type of. Which position am I playing? You're playing the ball position, man. You know, it's giving that, honestly, Jarvis.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so Elite Balasaw says, so basically, Bruno has no discipline position wise, Jarvis. It could be.
We don't know what's his instruction is, as Poppy mentioned. Maybe he's have the freedom to roam around. I don't
Uh,
know.
yeah. Bruno went off and we fell apart. At the end of the day, that is very true. There was a big drop off in energy, especially once we saw Mount not there and Bruno not there. I really did not have any confidence. And as his man's just getting around, he's just running around. He was playing the headless chicken role.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on with the discussion. Big up to Corner, by the way. We're trying to just make sure this show is not long. So I hope to have you on, Corner, for the next review. So let me go on. Say Bruno gets a C. Anybody that disagrees, please let us know why and what grade you'd give him as we move on to Ahmad Diallo. All right. Ahmad. Great goal. First of all, needs to be getting the. I'll take the lead, Jarvis, on this one. He needs to be getting the ball a lot more. You can see anytime that when the ball goes to Ahmad, something is about to happen. And there was just very few moments where I thought we provided him the ball where he can be dangerous, because at the end of the day, you need to be taking advantage of his skill set. And he is very, very good at, those quick shifts and he obviously should have had more than one goal, but I still want to give him props and say, he's the type of player when he cuts in, that ball is going to be on target. I know it was a deflection sort of thing, the way it went in, but even without the deflection, I don't think what's his name? I don't think Steele would have caught that. So
No.
Amad Diallo deserves the flowers. I really don't know, how he was allowed to play while he's in a bereavement process. But there was also partially because of that. I feel like he was also not as sharp as like the preseason Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
So he's going through a lot with his family. Guys, death is a big thing, and it's bigger than football. So I want to just give Ahmad props and say thank you for performing. You are actually one of the few players that can hold that head up high after today's performance, even though Edna disagrees and says a D. Oh my goodness. All right, Jarvis, what are you gonna say about Ahmad?
Yeah,
Um,
Ahmad, he's a little bit up and down. He's a
yeah,
young kid, so young man.
yeah.
I think he lacks a little bit understanding of the game. Sometimes he's a little bit naive in his movement.
Mm.
But what surprises me is his average position during the game, and it's actually quite central. It's almost like a number 10. He's not operating as a winger. So
Ooh, can you please show us the heat map again? Do you have
yeah,
it?
well, just first we I will bring up this one. Oh, just give me 2 seconds. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. If you can show this one, you see
Wow.
it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So this is the average positions of the players.
Yes,
Make it
yes,
bigger, and Ahmad isn't he number 16? So
yes.
he's
He is
there.
number 16,
Yeah,
correct?
this is
Yeah,
his average position during the full game. So you see, he's almost as a number 10.
that is.
Same position as Mason Mount, number 7.
He is clashing with Mason Mount. Like
Mm-hmm.
you. Wow. Wow. Can we see the Fulham one? Let's see what their average positions, if there's any players that are on top of each other like that. Well, 9 and 18 are pretty close-ish, but
Yeah.
not like clashing. That's Pedro and Welbeck, right?
Mm-hmm. He
And
made it.
but everybody else is spread out.
Yeah.
Everybody else knows where they need to be on the pitch, which zone to occupy.
Mm-hmm.
This is so fascinating.
But you see here, you have Mount, and this is Bruno, number 8. Rashford is number 10. 18, that's Mainu, so he's where he should be. No, 37 is Mainu, 18 is Casemiro. You see, they
Yeah.
both left-sided, Martinez and Dallo. So you see this 4 players here actually where they have a lot of possession, average position. And it brings me to the heat map. So if you just move to the heat map, let's see here. I just want to make it a little bit smaller first so I can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
Uh,
What else
yeah,
is it?
here we go. So if you
Oh,
select all on Man United, you see here you
yeah.
have a red dot where the 4 players is.
Hmm.
So we are a little bit left-sided. And if you just show, let's show Ahmad, we were seeing, where is Ahmad? Ahmad Diallo is here.
Yeah.
So, well, he's roaming a lot of the places, but on average, he's mostly here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It on the getting each in the way of Mount, or Mount getting in the way of Ahmad, like somebody had a really interesting comment. I forgot where it is. Bath Time said, I think he's appearing central because our play is congested on the left, so he's still the widest player in the block,
Mm. Mm.
which this is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, that has to be sorted out. These positions have to be. Look at how balanced Brighton is. You can
Yeah.
tell it's like really, really. Ours is like it's like an embryo. If you look at that,
But
like
you can see in a
you
way
know,
that we lack a right winger in a way, but because you see on the heat map that he always cuts in.
yeah,
You see
yeah,
the dark blue spots there on the right.
true, true, true. All right. So I guess the grade that we will settle with, I wanted to give him a B, just
Mm.
considering all the stuff that he's going through. And I hear you, Edna said, without that goal, his performance is a stinker. But I feel like he was one of our more like, better players. Honestly, we were not great, let's be real about that, but he was one of the better players
Yeah.
from Man United. So B for Amad Diallo from me.
Mm. Mm.
He was so frustrating to watch, and I know Ahmad is better than that. That is, I guess, yes, I see where you're coming from. It's
Yeah.
like, because you know what he can actually give you. Box says nobody deserves a B. All right, all right, all right. Box is too harsh. Let's go to Marcus Rashford.
Yes.
Oh, please take the lead, bro, on
Yeah,
Rashford.
Marcus again. No, he had pass succession of 82%. That's not good. He had 18. Oh, pass success of 72. So 18 out of, no, that's not right. let's see, 13 accurate passes and 18 total passes. Yeah, okay. But I would say the biggest problem with Rashford was I'm not pinning this on Rashford. It's his position when he receives the ball. He's too deep and he has his back against the goal. This
Yeah.
is his biggest problem. You know, we know the strength of Rashford. It's about running in behind with the ball in front of him. But we
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to see that, especially in the second half. First half, when we were building up, really narrow, too much dilly dally on the ball. And
Yeah.
when Rashford receives it, he's one against two, so it's really hard for Rashford. Um, is it on Rashford or is it on Ten Hag, or doesn't Rashford suit us in a way? I think
Mm.
it's more of the last thing. I don't think he's the right man.
You're right. We're not playing to his strengths. Like he failed
Yeah.
to beat the offside trap. The offside trap beat him or trapped him. There is
Yes, that's
also
true.
the fact that for me it was just frustrating to just like see somebody who also feels like I'm asking too much. Is like, can you please play for Manchester United? Can you please play
Mm,
like you mean it? When you're supposed to be the play, it's supposed to be coming from you. You're not doing us a favor by playing for us, Marcus. When he came off, Jarvis, for me, I actually felt like, wow, there's a little bit more balance. Ganacho
mm,
started to show that, you know what, I believe Ahmad was still on at that moment. So there was a little bit of like, this is how we should face Liverpool. It
yeah,
should be
yeah.
Ganacho and Ahmad. Rashford, please do somebody should send him a message and say, don't bother about Liverpool. We got this. You can stay home. Like seriously. And that's why box says E for exit. And I really, really feel what you're saying, Box. F says Edna, and Rashford has lost his acceleration, and he can't get away from defenders anymore. It is just too much. Bath Time says Rashford is doing better off the ball defense. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting remark there. Hopefully his on the ball stuff rises to League 1 standard at some point. Needs You mean League One in France or League One in England? It needs more guile now instead of nutmegs and push and goes, right? And that is
Mm.
really, really true. But big up to you for that comment. L for looking lost. Yeah, it's not gonna be a good grade. There's
Give him an
there's
O for offside. You know, he
yeah.
has a
Oh,
lot of offside. He's so
he
quick.
gets an E for exit and O for offside. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, all right, all right, all right. Let's quickly say this. Oh, Lucky is saying, yo, Ugarte, Celta, Vigo midfield. Lucky, I know. We need the midfield
Mm.
reinforcement. I do not feel ready. Who's the name of the Celta Vigo midfielder you're looking at, Lucky? Please tell us the name. And also, like you said, Scott McTominay can go 25 million Napoli, so we can get, so we can get Ugarte. Yes, big up
And
to you.
wasn't we linked to Ederson lately now also, the guy
Ah,
from Atalanta?
yeah, Jarvis.
He looks good.
He looks good. I
Yeah.
really hope there is actually some truth in that. I really hope there's some truth in that. Anyway, don't want to make the show too long. Any subs? Did we mention everybody? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Everybody that started.
Yeah.
Any subs that deserves honorable mention?
McTominay was the first sub, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah,
Xerxes.
yeah.
Xerxes came on at halftime, so
Yeah,
we can do
okay.
Xerxes.
Okay, all right, all right. Let's do all the subs. Okay, fine. Xerxes. Unlucky Xerxes. I'm just gonna say unlucky. Why didn't he lay down? But I understand, Jarvis. When you're an attacker, when your teammate is taking a shot, you want to be there for in case it hits the post. That's part of your job. So that I
Mm.
don't blame him for trying to get up and be ready. So at the end of the day, Xerxes, you know, yeah, unlucky is the big word for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the picture. You have
Ah,
to do it.
oh, he's he's gonna dislike
And
his
you
right
see his
knee.
arm. He's up. I just want to like try to get away, but he can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is the other angle you see here. Yeah, you see there a little bit better.
Oh, so unfortunate because that
Yeah,
ball was going
but you
in.
see the goal line here, and his
Yeah.
knee. It's just like 2 centimeters on the ball, and then the ball is in goal before he touches it. So it's very close.
Yeah. Ah. Oh. This was so unlucky. I don't even know
Mm.
any other ways to describe it. Bath Time says Xerxes, the unluckiest player since that beach ball for Sunderland, doesn't look fully fit and still finding his feet in our league. Probably
Yeah.
needs to be quicker in mind and more direct in body. True, true. Edna says Xerxes was thrown into a frustrating match. I feel like Eric be banking on luck too. That's why he just makes stupid subs like that.
Mm.
Yeah, you may be right, actually, Ed. You may be right. All right, all right. What grade? I don't see it being higher than a C.
No, it's a C. It's a C, or
Yeah,
even a D.
it's a D. It's a D.
Yeah. Okay. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Let's be honest. He had a whole second half to do something, and
Mm.
part of it is still gelling with your teammates, still being in adjusting to the league and all those things. So unlucky, still adjusting. All right, well, take the lead on McTominay. But by the way.
Yeah, McTominay, I think he was good when he came on. He was good on the ball. I think his stats tells he had 100% pass accuracy.
Yeah.
And it's as an impact player, I think McTominay is one of the better we can have. So, he's not good enough for us, but as a luxury player, as an impact player, yeah, we can utilize him. He was, let's see, 100% pass succession. He had 38 accurate passes, so that's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah, I was like, is
He had
that
five,
McTominay?
five, five passes.
Yeah. For me, McTominay was just what Edna is saying about the luck thing. I feel like McTominay was just a gamble, last stage gamble, last card from Ten Hag
Yeah, yeah.
in this saying, let me see what happens if we throw Scott in. And nothing that really stood out. Bath Time says McTominay was fine, a game that suited him, to be honest, with lots of running and simple balls.
Mhm.
Showed why he's a great squad option again. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I feel like fine is okay.
Fine. Yeah, yeah.
Fine. C is fine. All right, let's go to the next sub was who? Let's go to Ganacho.
Ganacho.
Yeah,
Ganacho.
Ganacho, please. Ganacho, for me, as I mentioned, he was, he thought like he should have, like that one was his goal, the one that
Mm.
hit Xerxes, right?
Yeah.
But definitely he was an upgrade from Rashford, and I want to give him his flowers for that. He performed better than Rashford, even
There
though.
actually was an XG on 0.71 on that goal who was disallowed on the offside.
Oh,
So it's
really?
almost like a penalty is 0.8. So this 0.71.
Oh.
Maybe should have just put it higher because it should have seen
No,
Cersei. I don't know.
no, come on now, come on.
These
Putting
are
it
professional
higher,
footballers,
nah.
This is
You
what they
didn't
do.
know
They
his teammate
train
was
on
going
the
to be the
process, put the
goalkeeper.
ball into the net. And you have to be able to aim away from the goalkeeper, okay? But then you have Cersei there. You should be able to aim away from him. I'm
Yeah.
not expecting too much, am I?
True. Sort of like the thing that we mentioned about Mano, maybe post Euros fatigue. Ganacho could be having I know he wasn't as involved in the Copa.
He's not match fit. I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. Performed better than Rashi is easy, says
Mhm.
Box. So, but we can clearly see that he's not match fit. And that is the truth on Ganacho right there. And I'm gonna give him he was better than McTominay.
Yeah, give him a C. Give him a
Yeah,
C.
yeah. Thank you for agreeing with me, Montana and Jarvis. Thank you. D is too harsh. Zexy C for Montana. D is too harsh. Oh, D is too harsh. But what did you see that said, okay, this was like really, because C means he was average. And Xerxes for me, like, unfortunately in this game, he didn't really, like, it's part of just getting used to the thing, getting used to playing for Manchester United. We're not saying he's bad, By the way, Montana, we're not
Mm.
saying he's a bad player, but his performance in this game was not really that impactful. Edna says the rest of the league ain't gonna wait for us to gel. That is very
Mhm.
true. We need to get going now. Everyone seems to be prepared for the season except us. Brighton is playing with a new manager, by the way. No more excuses. Edna is ruthless with it. And you know what? I love this energy.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Last person. We had Delict in there, right? All right.
Yes.
How do you rate Delict's performance?
I didn't see much, but he had the 8 out of 8 passes, accurate passes. He's aggressive. I think he's okay. He's had 4 defensive actions, one aerial duel. So
Hmm.
uh, I think he should start in this next game. He looks more secure when he's on the ball. So compared
Yeah,
to Maguire at least. So I think he's an upgrade. I would like him to start against Liverpool.
yeah, yeah. A big shout out to him. He looks eager to start. He looks. There was,
Mm.
I think, like a good interception. I can't remember the phase of play right now, but yeah, but really, really special shout out to Delict. I think for now versus Liverpool, we will see Delict and Martinez. All right,
Mm.
last person, Anthony. I don't know. Ungraded.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of
Nah,
Anthony.
neither
Like,
do I.
because
No.
yeah, it was just too quick of a very small uh, uh,
Sample.
sample to like
Yeah.
really judge. So that's what I wanted to say. So big up to you. A for Anthony. Get out of here, Box, please. Yeah, that is true. Big shout out to Kenny Fan TV saying, I'm still livid. To be honest, we really capitulated in the last 15 minutes when Bruno got taken off 100%. All right, last person we
Yeah,
rate
but
is
I just want to add on that, Poppy,
yeah,
Kenny's comment, because the last 15 minutes, what happened? We talked about Casemiro and Mainu, both of them gassed out. So it's about the rest of the team too. We can't just put this on Bruno. I
true.
think we need more depth in our squad, and we have options on the bench. We
Yeah.
have Collier. We needed more energy in that midfield because the game opened up. It was back and forward, and the only thing the midfielder can do is run up and down, up and down, up and down. And
Yeah.
when you have been running for 75, 80 minutes and you start doing that, it's
You
not easy, especially
it,
when you're Casemiro and you're 33 years old, and Mainu, who's a teen. So
mhm, mhm.
maybe Ten Hag should have done better, as a manager, subbing off the players that was tired.
That
We
is
have
true.
options. Why don't we
Yeah.
trust Collier and maybe Ericsson? I don't know.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that where was Collier. Honestly, that is a very, very valid point. And yeah, big up to Kenny Fen TV for that remark as well.
Mm.
So Eric Ten Hag, big up to Pra, by the way, who keeps on writing this. Enjoy the deadwood for till 2033. Hey, we will be here for top four, Pra. Okay. All right. Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag. Let's give him first of all, he got the lineup wrong.
Yeah.
Starting lineup wrong. Yeah, I just want to just say that. I
Rashford and
understand.
Maguire should never been in the starting 11, and
Right.
the double false nine doesn't work. So yeah,
Jarvis,
100% we can say he got it wrong.
what's your favorite car, Jarvis? Like ever? Like what's you know?
Maserati.
Maserati. You
Mm.
know, you have this Subaru that you are like been driving and you go buy the Maserati and then you still go out with your Subaru. Like what does that mean? Like what? To take the damn thing out the garage, man. Eric Ten Hag, we like what is imagine if you're Christopher Vivale, you're negotiating 24/7 trying to get these players in, and then Ten Hag doesn't pick them from the big. Xerxes doesn't start. Delict doesn't start. Like, come on now, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Is he gonna do the same with Ugarte? So that's where like my qualm with Eric Ten Hag really lies. It's like, bro, get the lineup right because you are trying to play a certain way. Don't wait for the approach of waiting for a player to make a mistake is the wrong approach, especially on your third season now. There's the time for you
Mm.
to be really asserting your style of play. Be like, hey,
Yes.
look what you did with Mazraoui. That was good. He walked in
Mm.
because he's the right back that you need. Now do the same with the rest of the other players, the key players that we've spent a lot of time negotiating and paying for, you know?
Yeah.
And talking about paying, Montana says pay that money. So what grade can Ten Hag get, Jarvis, in your opinion?
Yeah,
As
as
we
you said, the lineup was wrong.
Yeah,
But he changed up, the vocal point thing. I don't know if it was an injury, but at least he did it. Put on Xerxes. It didn't work, but he put on
yeah,
Xerxes, so he did the obvious thing. I think his subs came in an okay time. He didn't wait until the last 5 minutes, so
yeah,
I won't hang him out for that.
yeah.
So his in-game management was okay, but what I can say is I think his tactics for the game was a little bit wrong because we
Mm.
knew that that is what's the name of the Brighton manager again?
Uh, uh, um,
Hirtz, no,
Fabian Husler.
Hirschler.
Yeah,
Hirschler.
Husler.
Yeah,
Is that how you say it?
yeah.
Husler.
Yeah, well, it's a U with the two dots. I think
Okay.
they pronounce it Y.
So,
Hirschler.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fabian
But
Husler.
yeah, but we knew that from his time in St. Pauli on the second Bundesliga last year. They always close the central area of the pitch, and they did it this time too. And they press aggressive, and they try
Mm,
to play out around on the sides with their fullbacks and wingers. So
mm,
we knew what was coming, and Ten Hag didn't seem to have a plan, especially when we tried to play out from the back because they pressed us really aggressive and made
yeah.
it difficult. So
Yeah.
maybe we should have had another plan. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I was the only because I try to find a balanced like approach with every person that we're talking about. The only thing I will applaud him for is actually he finally subbed Rashford out.
Yeah.
Rashford is subbable. Oh my
Mm.
goodness. I could not believe it. I could not believe it because of, you see what Edna is saying? Men said Sancho needs to fight for his place, but he's playing Rashford. But
Yeah.
today we saw him sub Rashford out as well as obviously Bruno. But those players at one point last season, or they were unsubbable.
Mhm.
And with the Rashford one, I want to say, yeah, okay, applaud. More of that. Players that don't give you, other teams don't wait for players to play into what's more important, playing a player into form or actually getting the job done. Some
Yeah.
point you have to make the call because you're the head man in charge. You're the one making those big calls. You have to see that Rashford is a liability
Mm.
and tell him we don't need your services for Liverpool. He
Yeah.
needs to train harder. I don't even know if is he training through Zoom? What is he actually do? It's wild because like you wonder like what is this manager seeing that we are not seeing? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway, big shout out to everybody that is joining in. By the way, I see Alien Red Devils in the building as
Oh,
as
Peter.
shout out to you. Same old United.
Mm.
Shout out to Amio and Millie. Who is it again? Emilio. No. What is it? Sorry, I can't remember your name, but something Mond. The French name in the community. Shout out to
Un
you.
milieu monde.
Un million monde, c'est ça.
Yeah.
Oui, exactement. C'est ça, c'est ça.
Hannibal.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Kindly don't forget to hit the like button, by the way, if you're joining in this conversation. Eric Ten Hag, Jarvis, you did not give him a grade. Everybody in the chat.
I give him a C as the rest of the team and average. He was average.
Jarvis, it was a D, Jarvis, not a C.
Well, it's not. I have to defend Ten Hag when it comes to the
Wow.
goals. It's personal mistakes. It's not the setup of the defense.
Okay.
So we can't blame Ten Hag for the goals.
Okay.
And we were, I would say, quite even with Brighton. Maybe 1-1 would have been a more fair result in a way.
Yeah.
We lack clinicality, but it's on the players, I would say. But the setup, the lineup was wrong, and yeah, he could have done better. But it's not too bad, I would say. So I give him a C.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Brendan says, but you can blame Ten Hag for not setting us up to dominate Brighton. Okay, Jarvis, I have to respectfully disagree and say
Yeah,
it.
that's okay. That's okay.
It's yeah. For me, like part of it is like it's your job as the manager to see that, oh, this is not working, and then you change it up. If I did not know about Mason Mount's like precaution
Mm.
substitution, then he would have gone back in with Mason Mount, and then the for me the one that I do who is going to create for us after Bruno left, that is a question mark. We didn't see Christian Eriksen,
Yeah.
you know. So I just don't know if is Ericsson really that bad in training and Marcus Rashford really that good in training. Some of these things are a little bit like, obviously he is privy to a lot more information than us. He sees them on a day to day, but from what we know and what we're seeing, I just don't respect how he is picking some of these players. There are some decisions that are good, but a lot that are not good right now. So I'm just gonna say it should be a C, but a lot of people in the chat were saying E, so I think it's gonna have to be a D. So anyway, guys, if you're watching this video after this, make sure you put your comments in, keep the discussion going, let us know which grade we got wrong, and why, most importantly why. And any closing words, bro? I just wanted to make sure that we stay at an hour. We went
Yeah,
15
yeah, yeah,
minutes
yeah. We will
over.
keep it to an hour. I just want to show everybody. Take up my picture of Martinez on the first goal.
Yeah,
If you bring it up on my shared.
there we go.
Yeah, there you see Martinez in the number 6, and you see both Welbeck and I think the other guy is their winger. What's his name again? Mita.
Yeah.
And you
Minte,
see,
Minte.
yeah, and you see he picks up the wrong guy. So for me, I think this is a thing we need to work on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of work to be done. A
But
lot of work to
these
be
are
done.
personal errors and not on Ten Hag.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that is true. That is true. It's not Ten Hag who told Xerxes to put his knee there, or Ganacho to, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
this game could have gone differently, and Ten Hag all of a sudden he's not getting a D,
Mm.
because I understand it's fine margins like that. So at the end of the day, Brendan is asking about this, saying who was supposed to mark Mitoma? Was it Ahmad? That's where it went wrong. Mitoma wasn't marked, meaning Mazraoui and Maguire had to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, the first cross, why did Maguire just let it go? He like stepped away and let the ball just move past him.
Yeah.
When
That
in doubt, kick it
and
out.
kick.
That's the first thing you learn as a defender when you're
Yes.
young. When you're 6 years old, when in doubt, kick it out.
When in doubt, kick it out. When
Yes.
somebody gotta text that to Maguire, say to him in his sleep. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody that has been commenting with us and being part of this conversation and giving that grades and their reasonings and the remarks as well. Lots of really, really nice remarks. Bath Time, Edna, Lucky, Imran Khan, everybody that was really
Legends.
You guys are legends. Lots of love and appreciation from us to you guys. And also big appreciation to men like Jarvis for joining me spontaneously. I really appreciate it, Jarvis. So yeah. Team grade is, I think it's a C. Everybody, look, there's so many C's. Oh my goodness. It's just too much. It's a sea of C's, as we said. When the cross came over, Maguire would have put it in his own net. Oh Lord. Please, let's not get back to factory settings with Maguire. We have made progress because he's not doing the thing that the mistakes as much. But today his positional awareness was or lack thereof was found out. So anyway, hopefully we can get some more signings, especially Ugarte, as Montana was saying. Pay the money. Don't speak.
Get him in so he can sit on the bench for Casemiro.
Right. Well, Man United said
all our signings.
We need Ugarte and sell all these bang average players. I watched it at the stadium because Will was at the stadium. I remember in the watch along you were also contributing. So we appreciate you and your
big up Will.
For being the person on field on the our correspondent at Old Trafford. will Man United 99. So shout out to you, and better luck next time. Hopefully we can win our next away game. Actually, our next game is versus Liverpool at Old Trafford.
Yes.
I
Can you
don't know.
give us a small prediction? First thoughts.
Jarvis, we have seen this movie before where we don't play well. Man United has this ability to lose matches that they're supposed to win and win matches that they're supposed they're supposed to lose. You know, we're playing a very organized Liverpool that seems like they are ready. You see Edna's point about being ready for the season. We're playing a team that is ready. They're firing already, you know. And but Man United has this ability to just surprise you and give you like a 1-0 performance. 1-0 versus Liverpool. That's my prediction. I feel like we will win. I am no Elliot Tenno, get out of here for saying 4-0 Liverpool. Please don't say that. We have to be confident. We know that the season is still early. Sometimes you need these mistakes to happen early in the season. You remember Ten Hag's first season? You know, we lose to Brighton, lose to Brentford, and then from there we play Liverpool. We beat Liverpool with Sancho in there and go on a streak of about 10 games or 12 games or so. So I'm predicting 1-0. What about you?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. We saw in the friendly game we dominated Liverpool. I think our press play suits us when we play against Liverpool because they are not used to playing this way. That is it Arne Klopp, the new manager, wants to play, trying to build up on the back. They are not used to it. The center backs, the full backs, they are not used to dilly-dallying with the ball. So this is a thing we can exploit against Liverpool.
Yeah.
But we need to be clinical. And we know from the friendly we should have won that game. We lost it 3-0, I think. But we can win it. We can win it.
We
But
can do it.
We need to be clinical.
Yeah, we need to be clinical, and I think as long as Ten Hag can grow a pair and not pick Marcus Rashford, because if I see Marcus Rashford in that lineup, this is how I'm gonna feel, Jarvis. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Have yourself a lovely, lovely rest of the weekend. And just like that, hit the notification bell, by the way, and go over to Mark Ann's channel. If you're watching this on Football Power Hour, get him to 1K. He's so close. And I'm also close to another milestone. So please support the channel.
Smash the like.
You know, smash the likes. And yeah, until next time.